Christmas! Easily the best time of the year. Can we please first just agree on that? I mean, we're talking hot cocoa, gingerbread houses, Kenny G. If you're not a Kenny G fan, I don't know if we can be friends, by the way. But what I want to talk about this week is the 3 things we have to remember during Christmas. See, we all know that the story of Christmas is about the birth of Jesus, but I think we lose a lot of the meanings because we don't dig a little deeper. Now, the first thing that I think we need to know about Christmas is that it is about the story of God putting on flesh, or the big theological term for that is the incarnation, meaning God came to us. How encouraging and amazing and also mind-blowing is that? John 1:14 is not just a cute coffee cup Christmas verse where it says the word became flesh and dwelt among us. It is actually this explosive, mind-blowing verse. That word dwelt in Greek is the same word as tabernacle or temple, which if you know the Old Testament, the story that Jesus kind of is the climax of, you see that the temple held a ton of meaning as the place where heaven and earth collided, heaven and earth met. It was the place of God's presence. And so John is subtly but surely saying Jesus is actually that true place. It was all a shadow, and the reality is that heaven and earth have crash landed in the person and work of Jesus. That's what Christmas is about, that he has entered in, he has rolled up his sleeves, and he has come to us. He has not left us out in the cold. He does not say you need to try harder, do more, be good enough, and then you can come to me. He doesn't say I'm way up here, and if you can just, span the chasm, then I will accept you. He says, no, I'm going to come to you. I love you, I want you, I desire to be with you. The second thing is God doesn't always look like, or how he enters in is not always how we think he will. So the story of Jesus, if you actually know the kind of the arc or the narrative that was kind of the big wave crashing on the first century in Judea, a lot of people actually thought that Messiah was going to come as this big, violent, militaristic ruler who was going to crush Rome, because Rome was seen as the enemy. But what do we see? We see the exact opposite of kind of power and might and muscle. We see a baby. We see a baby in a manger. There's vulnerability there, that God doesn't enter how we think he will enter. And when he defeats sin, it's not actually about defeating Rome, it's actually about defeating evil and the powers of darkness, even a bigger enemy. He doesn't come how we think he's going to come. Did you miss that in your life? I think a lot of times we are so concentrated on making God fit into our box of how he's going to come into our life, or how we think he's going to answer our problems or our suffering or whatever it is, that we actually miss out on the fact that he might be walking right in front of us, and we missed him because we were not looking in the right direction. And then lastly, what we learn about Christmas is that hope has a name. We see later in the epistles that it actually says the fullness of God was pleased to dwell in Jesus. Meaning, if you want to know what God is like, which that's the question so many of us are asking, that word is fuzzy and we don't really understand it, and it can mean a bunch of different things to a bunch of different people. But if you want to know what God is like, which this is what the Christian religion can claim that no one else can, then look to Jesus. He came and he put on flesh. If you want to know what God is like, because the fullness of God was pleased to dwell, then look to Jesus, because that's where it's at. Hope has a name. So many times we're looking for healing and peace and joy and shalom and beauty and all these different things, and we kind of keep it up here in the lofty or the theoretical or the abstract, but we don't need to do that. We know what God looks like, and that is Jesus. And so during this Advent season, this Christmas season, maybe that's what we do. I mean, we look to Jesus for our hope, for our encouragement, for our healing, and for the very purpose and reason of living. Shout out to all my couples out there. I got something huge for you guys. Look what I just got. This is Datebox. This is an amazing thing that you guys have probably seen that I want to show you guys about. And what it is it's basically a monthly subscription where every month you get a Datebox on your doorstep. The cool part is this is a special edition holiday one they just did, which is amazing. Can you guys see in there? So what this one is, it's a Gingerbread House Kit. It is hot cocoa. It is hand-lettered mugs that basically look like they're straight off of Etsy. They're doing an amazing thing where it's a gingerbread house contest, and then the best house basically gets a free trip to Maui, which I'm not sure if we can enter because we already live in Maui. But anyways, it's amazing, and I want to hook you guys up with your first box totally free. Completely free. So if you go to getdatebox.com and you use the promo code Bethke, my last name, Bethke, you can try the first month for free. Me and Alyssa love it because when you have small kids and they're all put together like this and you get all this different stuff, it just saves a lot of the time and energy and work of preparing, where you still get a really special date night. Check out this kit. I mean, look at this. It says, all I want for Christmas is you. I see what you did there, Datebox. I see what you did there. So check it out. Free first box, Bethkey promo code. I think boyfriend or girlfriend not included. So if you're single, you can still get it and then maybe say, hey, you want to come over and have a date with someone new? Go ahead, but you ain't getting a boyfriend or girlfriend in the box. You feel me? Okay, that's all I got. You guys are awesome. Peace.